People who have refused to leave their city council chambers, insisting on their right to protest an illegitimate process with a illegitimate mayor, are being arrested. Yo, this is actually sick. Many are bravely refusing John Tory's Toronto and are standing in support of those most marginalized. Holy crap. Is this real? It's a wonderful day in the homiehood, a wonderful day for a homie. Won't you be my homie to Taro?
Mayor John Tory stunned the city with his bombshell admission that he was resigning due to an inappropriate affair with a former staffer. Some top politicians are encouraging him to change his mind and stay on. A source close to the mayor tells City News Chrystia Freeland, the deputy prime minister, has reached out to John Tory, urging him not to resign. The source says Premier Doug Ford has as well. Tory has had good working relationships with
Daddy, don't go.
the provincial and federal governments. The source also confirms the Toronto Police Union is urging John Tory to stay on too.
Of course they do. They've been giving the police so much money. Of course they want John Tory to stay.
Tory is pushing for an extra $50 million for police in his budget,
Yeah, I wonder why they want him to stay.
which will be debated tomorrow. The union put out
That's probably, they mean today.
this statement today asking all city councillors to approve the entire budget, including the 4.3% increase for police. There's also a movement by some within City Council to try to convince the mayor to stay on, confirmed by Councillor John Burnside
I feel like once you announce your resignation, you better fucking resign.
yesterday.
The next step is speaking to the mayor. I haven't actually had that opportunity yet, and asking him to reconsider.
Not surprisingly, multiple sources say support for the mayor seems to be split, with councillors on the right wanting him to continue versus those on the left who do not.
The idea that there's like a left-right split in this, I guess, you know, when we talk about the political spectrum as it exists and how it exists in like mainstream politics, I guess you could say that.
Sympathy for Tory was evident today at Hazel McCallion's funeral as hundreds came to pay their respects to the former Mississauga mayor. Tory was supposed to give a speech for McCallion,
Damn.
but it was mutually decided
He looks so intense.
he would not under the circumstances.
Yeah, it would be, I think, in super bad taste for him to kind of like make that situation about himself, right?
He was greeted in the crowd with hugs, smiles, and handshakes. What may
Jeez, everybody still wants to be on his dick.
matter most to John Tory, though, is what Toronto residents have to say.
Yeah,
a new
go
poll
away.
from Forum Research finds public opinion is virtually split, with 45% saying he should not resign versus 43% who believe he should. The question is, will John Tory actually reconsider and potentially stay on? Well, there are many factors at play here. His wife, his family, a potentially damning Integrity Commissioner report, and embarrassment for a man who has long been considered to be above personal reproach.
Okay, well, I guess maybe he is above personal reproach that, you know, he did this horrible thing and everyone is saying, no, daddy, Tory, don't resign. Toronto needs you.
Tells City News.
One thing to me that about this that is just absolutely shocking and stupid is that Chrystia Freeland would come out in support of John Tory. Like, he is a man who has conservative leanings. So why would the deputy prime minister like stick her neck out amidst this scandal in order to protect John Tory, who is in this case being you know, not even accused, but everybody knows that he committed this disgusting kind of like act against someone who was in his staff and is like 38 years younger than him. You know, so really disgusting behavior. I have no idea why Chrystia Freeland would do this, you know, and I think it kind of just goes to show that the Canadian political elite, they are all in bed with each other, for lack of a better term. So I honestly have no idea. Chrystia Freeland is someone who's positioning herself to be the next prime minister after Justin Trudeau. So why why would she do this? You know, like she could literally just say nothing, stay out of it, and not get involved, and whatever happens in Toronto happens in Toronto. It doesn't have to be Chrystia Freeland's kind of neck on the line. You heard it's a lie? Okay. I guess we haven't seen that. I mean there's like mainstream sources are reporting saying that Chrystia Freeland has come out in support of John Tory staying on as mayor. So really, really weird. Her office denied it. Oh, for real? Okay, let's take a look. Chrystia Freeland, John Tory, office denied. Um. Okay. Maybe you're correct. All right. Well, maybe there's a course correction here. A federal government source says Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland did not urge John Tory to stay on as mayor. Source says she spoke to him and wished him well, but didn't encourage him to stay on. Okay, well, that's good to know. Thanks V from TO for bringing this to our attention. So, Minister Freeland's office is now officially denying this. Says it's not accurate. Mayor Tory has been an important partner for the Deputy Prime Minister and federal government. He has taken responsibility for a mistake and decided to resign. The Deputy PM wishes him the best. Okay. Well, you know, I guess that this is from Laura Stone, who works for the Globe and Mail, CTV Power Play. You know, so this seems to be a reliable source from a journalist. So I guess really interesting. Updated, yeah, there's another article here saying the same thing and using the same quotes. Okay, so all right, you know what then? Thank goodness. Like I felt like that was like really stupid for Chrystia Freeland. I guess that's really bad on City TV, City News Toronto. I wonder if they're going to issue a correction. At all. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Still just hashtag latest. Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. The correction. Chrystia Freeland's office has denied she encouraged Tory to resign, despite a source telling City News she urged him to reconsider. Maybe you should do more confirmation of your sources. Yeah, maybe you should. I mean, we just watched the video. But I guess, you know, that video, it's hard to issue a correction in a video, right? Because like once it's published, can't really change it. Maybe they've made the correction here. Okay, Freeland's office issued a statement to City News denying she encouraged Tory to resign. Okay. So, okay, they corrected the record, although okay, and it looks like they probably changed the title of this. Okay, so yeah, the damage is done, I guess. Although, you know, now it's not really something that can be held against Chrystia Freeland if she chooses to run as prime minister, or something. You know, if this ever became like an issue for her, she could just easily correct the record. Yeah, I was thinking like, what a stupid move for her to make. Like Toronto is literally the largest group of voters. You know, we basically decide elections here in the GTA. I mean, I'm including Peterborough in the GTA because the GTA is just, it's getting greater and greater. All right. The area is just constantly expanding, to include places like Peterborough. So yeah, but what a stupid move that would be to basically be like, you know, 50% of Torontonians or whatever are like, yeah, get John Tory out the window. So, and then like, why would you want to upset 50% of like the largest voting group in the country? So CP24 is Rogers can't be trusted. True. And what's his face? John Tory sits on the board for Rogers, does he not? Toronto is an hour from Toronto. That is true. It's true. Parts of Toronto are closer to Peterborough than even Toronto is to Toronto, depending on which route you take. Okay, so it's good to know that this is getting cleared up. Still, I think what is most kind of disappointing about this is that the police union, I think this would have been a better story, right? Like the police union is among those encouraging Tory not to resign as mayor, right? Like that actually is the real story because the police union in Toronto has so much to gain from Tory just passing this budget, which is like happening probably like right now. We're probably getting screwed in real time as I speak. Um because there's so much for the police to gain from having John Tory pass. I forget how much it is, like $50 billion worth of spending. Um, yeah, Ford and the cops, exactly. That's the real story. Okay, I feel like the whole Christian Freeland thing now was a distraction. You're right here that CP24 City News can't be trusted with this shit. So yeah, the police. How much do they have to gain from this? It doesn't say in this report either. Okay, so completely trash reporting coming from City News. Basically throwing us like off the scent of the trail. Garbage. Honestly, I will be just so disappointed if John Tory reconsiders. The city council budget meeting has started. How do we watch?
Can you stop the disruption?
She's not a.
Yeah.
We haven't arranged anything. We don't.
Okay, so someone is here. They're not disrupting, but they're making a statement.
Have when she needs to be seated.
Okay. Can can you please take your seat?
Somebody is going off right when the city council meeting is about to begin.
Pl- No. Can you please take your seat? Oh. Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. If I can have security, please.
Unfortunately, we can't hear what she's saying.
Okay. No. Okay, sit down. No. 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 Okay.
I think it's about the type of seat. Toronto City Council budget meeting has started with a woman tearing into council for giving more funding to police. Mayor John Tory about to begin, and a woman shouts through it, but he is delayed. Tory wants to proceed. You don't get to speak, Mr. Tory, shouts the woman at Tory. Council is trying to eject her. Now they're taking a 5-minute recess. Chambers are being cleared. City councilors and mayors are being asked to leave. A security is called to remove the woman.
Okay, may I have security, please remove.
I wish we could hear, but unfortunately we can't hear. Otherwise this might be worth watching. There's a 5-minute recess. 10-minute recess. Okay, interesting. The meeting has recessed and will resume. Oh my god. The whole meeting has been shut down up to this point. So we haven't missed anything. John Tory's closest advisors are urging him to stick with his resignation. Okay, thank goodness. Since Toronto Mayor John Tory announced he will resign in the wake of an affair with one of his staff, a range of voices from council allies to a Toronto Star columnist. Ooh, Toronto Star, come on. Should not have resigned, says Rosie DeMano. Oh, come on. To reportedly, Premier Doug Ford have urged him not to quit. All right, I'm glad that CBC is getting this right. They might have had to change this as well. I don't know. I'm glad that they're not dropping Christian Freeland, I guess, since that's fake news. But the advisors who have been by Tory's side the longest and who the mayor trusts the most are remaining steadfast in their belief that he needs to step down. Multiple sources tell CBC News. Tory, who has not formally resigned, will preside over Wednesday's budget meeting at City Council. Had he resigned before the budget passed, the acting mayor would not hold the strong mayor powers granted by the Ford government that allowed Toronto's mayor to veto budget amendments with just 1/3 of the council on his side. So interesting. Okay, so the acting mayor would not have the strong mayor powers. You know what? If John Tory rams this through, that'll be an absolute shit show of democracy here in Toronto. Like if he rams this through using his strong mayor powers and then resigns, what an absolute piece of shit. That should be like, we should be protesting outside of Toronto City Hall. The rumblings that Tory could walk back his promised resignation are being fueled in part by polling. Okay, yeah, we saw that on City News, 43, basically split down the middle, 43-45%. The mayor's press secretary said in a statement that Tory has met with the deputy mayor. Tory maintains a tight inner circle of close political advisors, referred to as his kitchen cabinet, okay, including his first City Hall chief of staff, Chris Eby. Another Eby? Is he related to David Eby? Probably not. The inner circle met on Friday to hear Tory's accounting of the affair and to discuss what to do about the Toronto Star story that would soon reveal it. They figure another election would be over $20 million. Whatever. It's like, what are you going to do? And not have an election? Honestly, John Tory should have to pay for this election. Like, he knew that this scandal existed before the last election. He promised his wife and his family that he's only going to be the mayor of Toronto for 2 terms. And then he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll just do a 3rd term because I'm a piece of shit. It was probably the motivation to ask him to stay is to save $20 million. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know what? Here's an idea. You know what? I'm taking this to the tweets. If Toronto City Council doesn't want a $20 million election, if Toronto City Council needs $20 million for a mayoral election, they can take it out of the police budget. If the Toronto, okay, thanks Grammarly. If the Toronto City Council, I still feel like that doesn't make sense. If Toronto City Council needs $20 million for a mayoral election, they can take it directly out of the police budget. Democracy, not police. Okay, going off. Just taking it to the streets and the tweets. All right. Okay, it looks like council has started. But we're not getting any audio yet. You can't stand in front of the cameras on Friday night and say you've made a terrible error in judgment and you have to resign to be with your family, and then a week later say you have to stay. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Tory's closest advisors are telling him that trying to stay on as mayor would be fraught with political problems. I agree. His personal brand of integrity and respectability would be shattered. I think, yeah, well, it's already shattered, so go away. He would be dogged with so many questions by the media about the scandal that it would distract from the working of City Hall. He would potentially struggle to win support from enough members of council to move his agenda forward. He would face an investigation from the city's integrity commissioner over possibly violating the city's code of conduct. Yeah. So the people who want John Tory to stay as mayor don't have his best interests at heart. Okay, yeah. You know what? I guess I'll align with John Tory's advisors on this front, because you need to get gone. I never thought he would blow up a 40-year marriage and a career with such reckless action. You know, he could have just gone away quietly. He could have just disappeared into the night like the best, and he probably would have been like, hey, this is like the best mayor Toronto has ever had because he didn't blow up in a scandal and forced to leave, you know? Like all he had to do was go quietly and say that good night, and he couldn't do that. All three sources say they believe Tory will not heed any calls to stay and will ultimately resign. Thank goodness.
And we begin tonight with breaking news. The mayor of Toronto, John Tory, announcing that he's stepping down shortly after revelations he had an affair with a staffer. The Toronto Star first reporting that Tory had the relationship for months during the pandemic. Tonight, he called it a serious error in judgment.
Oh man, Ian Hannah-Mansing on This Hour Has 22 Minutes last week. It's like, if you need help breaking bad news, like just get the Ian Hannah-Mansing to
Members of council.
do it for you. All right, council is starting up, but I think, well, let's just pause it. They're going to take a while.
Thomas Dagala is tracking this breaking news for us tonight. And Thomas,
like if you need help breaking up with your girlfriend, just get Ian Hannah-Mansing to do it for you.
tell us more about what the mayor said.
Well, John Tory says he failed to meet the standards to which he holds himself, both as mayor and as a family man. He has admitted to an affair during the pandemic with a staff member. He says they mutually broke it off in recent weeks.
Yeah, John Tory, I haven't heard him, like, do you think he's, like, cares about the staffer at all? Like, was it just a sex thing? Like, I would be just like, John Tory, how much Cialis did you require during the course of the affair?
And at some point, the staffer left City Hall and got a job elsewhere. Now, this evening, the Toronto Star reported this staffer was an unnamed 31-year-old woman. Tory, who is
I'm pretty sure they've found out who it is, right? There's only so many unnamed 31-year-old women on the staff, right?
68, apologized to the people of Toronto, City Council, and especially his family and his wife of more than 40 years, Barbara Hackett. He says they spent a lot of time away from each other during the pandemic, and that's when this affair came to be. Now, this has been
younger than his youngest kid. Man, that's gross.
Been a fast developing story tonight, and it's going to come as a huge surprise.
But also, like, they are, like, 31 is like, that is consensual, but it's still gross.
Many in Canada's biggest city. Remember, John Tory was elected in 2014, promising to change the tone at Toronto City Hall after the scandal-plagued years of Mayor Rob Ford. And Tory was re-elected to a third term less than 5 months ago. Here is Tory speaking this evening at City Hall.
I want to thank the people of Toronto for trusting me as mayor. It has been the job of a lifetime. And while I've let them down and my family down in this instance, I've nonetheless been deeply honored by the opportunity to serve the people of this wonderful city. And I believe that I did some good for the city, that I did make a positive difference for the city that I truly love.
Yeah, I know. I was stuck at my office and I couldn't just call my wife. Yeah. I love how he even like drops this as an excuse. It's like, bro, you know, you can still, we got these things called like phones, and they're actually better than ever. You can even see the person's face now when you call them because of modern technology. Like, okay, but sure, yeah, you were under a lot of stress during the pandemic. I guess, you know, we can all relate. But at the same time, you know, many of our marriages and relationships, they made it through. So I don't know. It's really weird.
Particularly during the pandemic. I'm usually known for taking as many questions as you want to ask, but on this occasion, I think I'll let my statement speak for itself. Thank you.
So a late Friday announcement, no answers to any questions. What do we know, Thomas, about what might happen next?
John Tory has said he has referred all this to Toronto's Integrity Commissioner, who is going to look into this affair. He has not set a date for his departure from City Hall, but he says he's going to work with city staff and the Deputy Mayor, Jennifer McKelvey, who would normally step in for the mayor if he were unable to do his job. And according to the rules, Ian, there may now be a by-election to come very soon.
They got elections that are switching ways now. It's a by-election. All right, City Council, have you started
If there's
yet?
any further disruptions, that we will ask security to vacate the
What?
council
There's another disruption? They still haven't even started.
chambers, and you will be.
What happened this time?
Council comments that's made on the budget, but please do not disrupt the council.
Why does
because
it
if
say,
you do,
why is
I
she
will
at
ask
Mayor
for
John
recess,
Tory's seat?
and,
Why does it
I
say
will
Mayor
ask
John
security
Tory?
to vacate the council chambers and you will not be allowed to come back into the council chambers. And so this meeting is now resumed. Councillor Fletcher.
Thank you, Speaker, for that, and letting everybody know they're welcome to be here in our City Hall. That's fine. And to remind everybody, like we had done many years ago, that rather than make noise and cause a problem, we do our jazz hands that show our support, etc., while we're speaking. And thank you so much
Yeah, we got jazz hands.
for accommodating us here today to pass this budget.
Thank you. Councillor Matlow.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, she's the chair's finance committee, you think? Okay.
The
It's just weird that the sign says like Mayor John Tory. Like maybe they shouldn't have signs if you're allowed to sit in other people's chairs, right?
who was seeking accommodation, I made a commitment to her that I would raise an issue with you and council with respect to her claim that she requested accommodation yesterday and had not received a confirmation that she would be accommodated in this chamber to be able to watch the proceedings. So I ask you to ensure that anyone, including this individual, has the ability to have the accommodation that they seek. And she also asked me to refer to the Ramsden and Bracken cases at the Supreme Court. And I appreciate you hearing her and my comments.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that was the original woman making the commotion. It was that they had requested a seat for accessibility, and then like she was not provided with that seat. So this counselor is clarifying that.
So it's my understanding that the clerk did speak to the individual, but it wasn't just accommodation. If she wanted to made very clear that you could not. So thank you, and we would take that under advisement. Now we will continue with the council meeting. Mayor Tory, you were going to make a presentation.
Okay, let me maybe slow it down here to 1.25. Why do people are booing? Yes, boo. Are they saying boo or boo on?
All right. I did warn the public that if there's any further disruptions that we will ask security to vacate the council chambers, and you will
be too much to ask them to get a good mic?
Removed, and you will not be allowed to come back in the council chambers. I made that very clear. Mayor Tory.
Speaker, thank you.
Yes.
Before I begin, I wanted to assure the members of council that I consulted Michael on how he wanted this to proceed in the circumstances.
Okay. Okay. 15-minute recess. Everyone.
Wow. Okay, what are they chanting though? Something. Get John Tory out the door.
Everyone will be vacated from the council chambers. Thank you.
We want Tory out the door. We want Tory. They're on 15-minute recess again. Okay, what is going on? What is going on? Where is that account? Amar Khan, right? He's got to say, meeting has resumed. Tory is being booed. The chamber is being cleared again. This time, 15-minute recess. We want Tory out the door. We want Tory out the door. Okay, yeah, there's no way he can stay on. This is shenanigans. Okay. Another 15-minute recess, which they are still in. Oh my goodness. This is wild. They're actually trying to go through with this. Honestly, this is great. Because, yeah, he shouldn't be there today. Like, he should already be gone. So I'm glad that it's getting protested. Toronto Revolution. That's right. I mean, he said he's gonna go. Why doesn't he just go? Okay, so this is 24 seconds ago. Toronto Acorn. I believe they're like a housing initiative. But they're tweeting out here, great turnout and some amazing speakers at the #HaveAHeartTO rally today. Okay. So yeah, they're like I think they're like a housing justice network. I know one person in our Discord is a part of that network. So meeting has stalled again. Let's see if this. Okay, so what they're cheering here is help the homeless, feed the poor. Get John Tory out the door. Help the homeless, feed the poor. Get John Tory out the door. Help the homeless, feed the poor. Get John Tory out the door. I like it. I like it. I like it. I guess I don't know. What are we gonna do? I guess we can wait. We can watch this hour while we wait. I I don't know if there's, I kind of want to see what's going to go on here. Used to volunteer with the Vancouver group. Okay, amazing. Yeah, Acorn Network. I want to learn more about them. I don't know if they're active in Peterborough, but we could definitely use some help here. Maybe I wonder if we got any footage of this event that went down. Was this on? Is this filmed at all? Looks like they got all of this like press set up. Obviously, this person is filming, right? They got a big camera. Be nice to watch this while we wait. This is like intermission. Help the homeless, feed the poor. Get John Tory out the door.
Have a heart! Have a heart! Have a heart!
We are standing with our partners in calling for a budget that supports frontline workers at the front lines of these crises, not a budget that is cutting funding to the same frontline workers and the same organizations that are already overwhelmed and over capacity.
I love there was one sign there that said it had a heart around it and it said fornicator. It's like, yeah, it's weird. Like, aren't conservatives supposed to be like the family values party? But then they're like, well, if if we could save $20 million, we don't care. So yeah, this is Have a Heart TO. I guess this is great because I think it's about the Toronto city budget. That is what is going down right now, or at least supposed to be going down. It's probably the same.
No! We want transit for all. When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Transit for all. When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Transit for all. When do we want it? Now! We want shelter for all. When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Shelter for all.
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Shelter for all.
When do we want it?
Now!
Nice. This is great. It makes me want to go to Toronto. All right, when are we gonna get this? Come on, City Council. I want it to resume so that we can hear more people chanting, and then it will go on another recess. It's gonna be recess all day. Amr Khan, what are you saying? We got any updates yet? He should just resign. He's a cheater and a snake. Was locking us all up, and he's out playing hide the wiener with his mistress. If that doesn't piss people off, then I don't know what would. Yeah, I guess I could tweet. I can be like, because we're probably following this closer than a lot of people. Toronto City Council budget meeting. Budget meeting is going on another recess after the, I guess, what do we call these people? Observers? After observers chant the gallery? Yeah. After observers in the gallery chant, what was the exact quote again? God damn it. Feed the hungry, house the poor. Feed the hungry, house the poor. Get John Tory out the door. I should probably, fact check this. Not that it matters that much. Toronto City Council budget meeting is going on a second recess after observers in the gallery. After, I should just say people. They're obviously not just observers. People in the gallery chant, "Feed the hungry, house the poor, get John Tory out the door." Oh, should I do the T.O. Polly? No, maybe this tweet will go viral. Should I just check that this is actually what they were saying? Oh yeah, it should be up here, right?
15-minute recess, everyone will be vacated from the council chamber.
House the homeless, feed the poor, right?
Vacated from the council chamber. Everyone will be vacated from the council chamber.
House the homeless. House the homeless. Feed the poor. Feed the poor. Got so many tabs.
Chambers, thank you. Thanks.
It's not the most coordinated chant.
From the council chambers, thank you.
I think they're saying kick John Tory out the door. Toronto City Council budget meeting is going on a second recess after people in the gallery chant, "House the homeless, feed the poor, kick John Tory out the door." All right, it's gonna go viral for sure. If I've ever, sometimes you just need to have a tweet that just says exactly what's happening, no opinion, and like, you know, that way maybe it has a better chance of like not having or like breaking through political lines, you know. So if you're there in is John Tory voting today? They are supposed to vote on the budget, but the it's gone to recess because there are people in the gallery who are chanting, "House the homeless, feed the poor, kick John Tory out the door." All right. City Council, we're still waiting on Toronto City Council. They were said their 15-minute recess. Should we check in on the hashtag here? What's going on? T.O. Polly. People who have refused to leave their city council chambers, insisting on their right to protest an illegitimate process with a illegitimate mayor, are being arrested. Yo, this is actually sick. Many are bravely refusing John Tory's Toronto and are standing in support of those most marginalized. Holy crap. Is this real? A small contingent of folks. Okay, breaking. Toronto City Council clears the floor, including media, as security removes a disabled woman by force. She was mistreated and not accommodated. Okay, we did already see this. She refused to let Tory speak. So, yeah, she was not accommodated. She said she had made arrangements to have like I don't know, to be accommodated for whatever reason, we don't know. And then like the city was not accommodating. And they won't let additional community members into council chambers, citing that it's at capacity. Oh no, a fire. Toronto City Council is on fire, both, you know, just metaphorically. A small contingent of folks are still inside the council chambers with media. Okay, and now they're saying that, yeah, they've been arrested. Okay, wow. Yeah, I guess we need to go to the latest here. It's kind of dangerous to be scrolling on Twitter Live, but you know, that's the type of excitement that we get on this channel. Police now carrying people out of City Hall by force. Oh my goodness. Police protect people in power. Police don't create safety. Police protect fascists. People protect people. Police protect people in power who abuse their power. Just to let you know what they're saying there. Okay, so no wonder we were just chilling while this is all happening. Um, okay, so yeah, this is wild. Um, sorry, have a public comment on the budget. Sorry, your council will just arrest you instead. Yeah, police are in the chamber. Oh my god. This is like, yeah, I guess the jazz hand suggestion didn't work. Yeah, that one woman came out and was like, just a reminder that if you would like to speak to council, we have a jazz hands policy, and if you could just raise your hands and jazz them around like this, then you'll be given your turn to speak. It's like, okay. I guess now is not the time for jazz hands. All right. Um Cops must be love abusing disabled people. Jesus Christ, Toronto has gone to hell. I mean, it was a slow journey, but they got there eventually, including media that they have the right to be there. So the people are there for a budget reading. Yeah, they're having the budget meeting today in Toronto, just to catch you up here. And John Tory has stayed on as mayor despite announcing his resignation. Some people are speculating that he's going to use his strong mayoral powers to ram through, I don't know, think it's like $50 million in the police budget. And if the deputy mayor were to step up as mayor, they wouldn't be allowed to have those strong mayoral powers that were just like instated. So they're like, basically they're going to approve the budget, whether it was going to happen or not, maybe. But then that's why people are speculating that this is happening because the interim mayor would not have those same powers. So defund the police. There will probably be riots in the streets. Damn, you're going off, Ribbert. You got bars? Defund the police. There will be riots in the streets. You don't want beef with Ribbert 808. Bruh, I don't know. Okay, sorry. Nothing would happen if the police disappeared except the city would be safer. Yeah, we would have more money for like a lot of other things, like potentially like an election, because John Tory is a corrupt piece of garbage. Ottawa jacked the police budget and slashed transit, despite transit desperately needing the money. Yeah, well, that's exactly what Toronto did too. And that's what we're doing in Peterborough as well. Like, it's just like a trend all across Ontario, all across North America. It's like, yeah, we don't need public services. We need police. And despite the Ottawa Police Service is literally the most hated police force in the country. True. Yes, we did talk about yesterday that they elected like a super racist dude they didn't elect. They appointed the new chief of police in Ottawa who had experience because he was part of the Wet'suwet'en the police RCMP or whatever going into unceded Wet'suwet'en territory and like policing those indigenous people. So really disgusting situation that's happening in Ottawa. I don't know how you just get the job when you're like an outsider and your only experience is like unjustly policing people of color. Well, I don't know. Maybe I just explained it right there. I'm guessing you read about that because the rabble was suing this rabble. That's right. Yeah, the narwhal is suing the RCMP. Yes, that is exactly why we read it. Yeah, that's how we ended up there. So, okay, here's the developing story of what's happening at council city budget meeting. Okay, is this Toronto City Council budget session off to a rocky start as tensions run high. Okay, Toronto's budget meeting got off to a rocket start Wednesday morning. The lone demonstrator disrupting the session just moments after it started. We saw that. It was hilarious. She shouted that at John Tory as he attempted to begin his remarks to open the session and introduce the $16 billion spending package he crafted, its contents including a $48 million increase for police. Okay, so I've been saying $50 million. Good to know. That's pretty much the same. The inside choice was convoy supporters. What? The inside choice. Oh, for the chief of police in Ottawa. Yeah. Is that real? That's gross. So yeah, city council chambers are packed with spectators for what is one of the most important council votes of the year. I honestly don't think it's gonna happen. Oh wow, they're back. Actually, they're back. Okay. Second attempt to start the meeting failed when Tory was booed by someone in the crowd. How's the homeless feed the poor? Kicked John Tory out the door. Hey, I got it right. I reported it first, CBC. All right. They should have embedded my Twitter account into this story. They shot it together. Council adjourned again as security cleared the chamber for the second time. Okay, we're getting back to it. Wait, one demonstrator? No, there was a whole gallery. It started off with just one demonstrator, but there was a whole gallery of people chanting.
Councilor, please take your seats. This meeting is now resumed.
It's so boring, y'all.
On
I don't know if I can do
2023
it.
Operating and capital budget as the second key matter in our second item of business.
We might just have to watch the
We are
highlights.
scheduled to meet until 6 p.m. tonight. We will take scheduled recess between 12:30 and 2 p.m.
Wait, what? This is going till 6 o'clock? Okay, they're meeting till 6 p.m. tonight, y'all. Yeah. Fuck it, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm out. I guess we saw like quite a significant part of what was gonna go down here. I mean, the people getting arrested at the city hall meeting, that's kind of like a shocking imagery, right? But I don't think we're going to make it, unfortunately. We're not making it till yeah, I was like pretty much ready to tap out, knowing that it was going to be like another hour, knowing it's going to be another 6 hours, probably even more. You know, I appreciate the effort, but we tried our best. They succeeded in proving that Toronto City Council is a clown show. That is true. If we've learned anything here today, it's definitely that.